Donald Trump appears to have lost orientation to time and place. This is really weird. This is one of those moments where Trump seems to be arguing with a conversation that everybody has moved on from. Let me explain. Out of nowhere, Trump gets on his favorite platform, Truth Social.
Truth Social.
Exactly. And starts attacking California Governor Gavin Newsom over an interview from months ago. Quote, Gavin Newsom's recent career-threatening interview where he said he can't read a speech, he was a stupid person, but smarter than the people in the room, racist, has mental incapacity, difficulty, and various other ailments, may be the worst interview given by a professional politician in 100 years. No politician has ever made such statements and survived. Newsom is in big trouble when he openly admits that Kamala is smarter than he is. President Donald J. Trump. What is he talking about? Well, as usual, Trump seems to have completely lost orientation to time and place. Months ago, during his book tour, California Governor Gavin Newsom said, hey, you know what? I struggle with dyslexia. I struggle to read a speech. I struggle to read a book. And Trump attacked him then. And what is really weird is that Trump is acting like this is a recent interview. It was months ago. It was debated, analyzed. Newsom was asked so many times about it. And Trump is all of a sudden back. He's acting like it happened yesterday. And this is a really weird, concerning, and familiar pattern. Someone shows Trump an old clip, an old article, an old comment, and he treats it like breaking news. And then his supporters are expected to join him in relitigating all of this stuff that most of us have already moved on from. Now, the substance of the attack, I think, is also interesting, quite frankly. Trump is obsessed with Gavin Newsom's intelligence. Can he read a speech? His mental incapacity. And that has a very non-random tinge to it. These are the issues Trump is dealing with. Trump is the one whose intelligence has been questioned. Trump's the one who seems to struggle to read. Trump is the one who just earlier this week said the Islamic Republic of Japan sent 111 missiles at an aircraft carrier of ours and referred to President Zelensky. He goes, anybody want to ask President Putin a question? And we see it again and again and again. Trump said this week he was president 3 times. He loses his train of thought. He's being helped around by President Erdogan, and he can't walk in a straight line. He's going left, right. And instead of addressing those concerns, he projects those concerns onto somebody else, and it's Gavin Newsom. Now, he's also, by the way, obsessed with Gavin Newsom. During a speech this week, he goes, I wish Newsom would call me. He really should call me to help deal with crime in California. Crime, which is, by the way, declining in California. He blames Newsom for stuff related to water and the dumping water, forests, and you got to rake the forests. He's digging up months old interviews to keep talking about Gavin Newsom. Now, I think that this is maybe the most important kind of tell about what's going on. Presidents try to shape public conversation around their agenda, their successes, and challenges to the country that they can fix. Trump just gravitates to personal grievances and feuds, and they never expire. This is months old. And if he feels slighted by someone and he doesn't feel like he's gotten the best of them yet, the calendar doesn't matter and he'll come right back to it. So this is a very strange post. Nothing happened with Governor Newsom that required a response. There was no new interview. There was no new controversy. There was no new development. It was, as I like to say, apropos of nothing. Trump decided to open a file that had been closed for months. And so the broader question is, what is Trump's attention focused on? There are no shortage of real pressing issues here. The affordability crisis, the optional war with Iran, lack of access to health care, failed promises to reduce the cost of housing, all of this stuff. And Trump is flying around, switching planes. He goes from Turkey to London on the old plane. And then he gets off and switches planes in London to fly back on the Qatari plane. He's talking about a reflecting pool and a fountain that got completely brown water coming out of it in DC. And now he's settling scores over stale interviews and reviving stories that seem to come from personal desperation to seem cooler they're smarter or more attractive or taller than Gavin Newsom, it says a lot about what Trump's thinking about, and none of it is doing a damn thing to improve the day-to-day life of the average American. That's the part that these Republicans really need to be punished for in November. Appreciate you watching. Stick around for this next video, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you actually see our uploads. You can also catch the full podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.